Welcome to the Quick Galloper YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. The name Shane Ellis resonates with excellence and triumph in the world of horse racing in Jamaica. Known affectionately as the Canterman, Ellis has solidified his legacy by dominating the iconic Jamaica Derby, clinching 7 remarkable victories in this prestigious race. His talent has not only shone brightly on home soil, but has also made waves internationally during his riding stints in North America. In this captivating lifetime narrative, Shane Ellis takes us on a journey from his very first days in the saddle. He shares the hurdles he overcame, the relentless dedication that fueled his passion, and the heights he achieved in a fiercely competitive sport. His story is one of resilience, showcasing how an unwavering spirit and sheer brilliance can carve a remarkable path in the world of racing. Join Quick Gallop, jhay.com, and explore our YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper, for a deep look at the extraordinary life and career of jockey Shane Ellis.
Shane, we know your father was a champion rider here, but tell us how you got involved in horse racing in the first place.
Well, getting involved in horse racing in the first place is basically where I used to live. The stable was like next door my house. So as a young little kid, I used to leave my house and run under the fence and go over to the stable.
And that is where?
That is round by Purple Island,
Okay.
Merkle Way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's from there, and even though although my father was a jockey and thing, it was my mother who really inspired me in being a jockey, and I love it still. I love being a jockey. I wanted to be a jockey from day one. From day one. Although my father was a jockey, but I really wanted to be a jockey. And growing up as a youth, going to school, I used to leave school half day and come over to the track and with the other fence and near my fence.
Which school was that?
I used to go to Independence City, all age school, and it's just down the road from the racetrack.
Your situation unique, Shane, and I'm sure you would appreciate that. Your father was a big time rider here.
Yeah.
But yet still it was your mother.
Yes, because
You ever thought about that to say, oh, that link, why? Oh, it worked the way there?
My mother was a top punter. She loved racing. She loved horse racing. My mother loved horse racing, and my grandmother loved horse racing. So it was like I was like bred to be in horse
Bred
racing.
in the purple.
Yeah. So
From Purple Island.
From Purple Island, you understand? And Purple Island is just a foot away from from the racetrack. So when I leave school to the track, back home, and it's from there.
So at what age you said to yourself, what is true? This is it, and I'm going to make the move now.
Well, basically what had happened, I'm going to school here, and my mother was leaving. My mother was leaving for Canada, and at that time she has 4 girls and 1 boy. I'm the first from my mother, and she has 4 girls and 1 boy. So she bring the boy with her.
The boy.
Yeah, to Canada, and as a kid, I was 17. I went to Canada with her, and I was there with her until for 5 months, and then she heard that the jockey school was opening here, and she sent me back down. And I came back down, tried the jockey school, never got through. Went back to Canada for like after 2 years, and then she sent me back down again in 1995, and that's where I get into the school in 1995. And as I always tell people before, the funniest thing going into the school, I was like about 110 pounds, in which case 112 pounds, in which case you can't be over 110 at that time. You can't be weight over 110, and I was 112 pounds. And the morning to try out to go to jockey school, I was there, and my mother tell my mother wake me up early. You understand? And so we have to lose this 2 pounds. So what she did, because what we normally do is jog. So what I do, I jog around the Purple Island, jog around. When I jog around now, I need 1 more pound to lose, because I lose the pound with the 1 pound. So I came back, and my mother said, "Here, what you gonna do?" And she, well, you know those barrel that you send from abroad, the one. So
Brown barrel.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the brown barrel there, not the plastic one, but yeah. So she put me in the barrel, and she threw a lot of clothes on top of me, and she said, if I'm stifling, I must just knock the barrel. You understand?
Yes.
So that's what she did for me to
set out some
lose,
more.
to set out, to lose the pound.
Your mother really was.
So I did, and eventually, I lose a pound. 2 pounds I lose. So I was like, basically 108
Exactly.
and a half now.
Okay.
108 and a half, because I did lose, so extra. And when I take off my clothes, and she bathed me in some cold water, so I ending up losing next pound again. Some cold, because what she do, she set the water overnight. So the dew water dewy night, so the water is very cold. So in time I come out now and cool off and things, then she put me in the cold water. And then when I go into the cold water and bathe and everything and cool down, I lose like another pound and a half. And I was set to come and me get into the school.
Stick a pin, because we just started this interview and it's all about your mother so far. But you don't name her yet.
Oh, my mother named Pauline Favza, and she married. She's married now. She's from Canada. Her name is Delphine Hunt.
Big her up, Shane, man.
Yeah, man. It's all about my mother, man. I love my mother to the world and back, to the moon and back. Anywhere, it's all my mother. She's actually she's here in Jamaica with me now. She come down. You understand? But it's all about my mother.
Yeah, man. All right. So tell us about your batchmates.
And my batchmate was Wesley Henry, Richard Mitchell, Leo Miller, Richie Reed, Peter Bryan, Chris Ferron, Chris Douglas, Devon Thomas, Andrew Thomas, Baker, Anthony Baker, Wilbert Gobier, Robert Stewart, all of those guys, and we did very well. We graduated 1996, and I think Kalaloo, Wesley Henry won the championship the next year. He won second that year in the championship. I finished fourth. The next year, 1997, Kalaloo win it, and I finished either third or fourth again. And then in 2000, I won the championship. And 2000, I think it was that year I won my first derby and Awesome Power in year 2000. Then I leave. In year 2001, I left and went, and my mother said, "Come and try the Canada circuit." And I went to Canada, and I started here from Canada.
So you've been going to Canada from 01?
From 2001. I've been going to Canada from before, but to start riding in Canada is the year 2001. I start riding in Canada, and I always ride out the season and come back to Jamaica after Canada finish in December. So for 2001, I start riding in 2001, 2002, 2003, 2000, straight back to 2008. That's when I came back.
You remember your first winner?
Award the Star. As an apprentice, I want my first winner is Award the Star.
How long after you started riding?
It's April 1996 to start riding. And it never took me much time to win my first race as an apprentice.
So tell me what that feeling was like, Shane. Relive that for us.
You see, because I won as an exercise rider, I won one of the exercise rider race. So that was my best moment, when I won the exercise rider race. Being an apprentice now and going into the school and win the apprentice race, it was very good to me, but it wasn't. I wasn't pleased about it, as though I wasn't it wasn't that joy about winning that first race, as in when I win the exercise rider race, because the exercise rider race is riding for a person around by Purple Island. The horse was from Purple Island. That's where when all the joy was. That's where I felt so good, because I won a race for my community, and everybody from the community was there. Everybody was taking pictures. That's where my heart was.
But speaking about joy, you must tell us and tell the public. You know me, go. What did it feel about that first win?
She wasn't here. She wasn't here, but she was on the phone the whole time, and she was watching the race, and it was a joy for her too. Honestly, she was a joy for her.
Who was your apprentice master?
Kenneth Mattis.
No, the great Kenny. So, tell us about the journey, Shane, from then until now. I mean, sticking primarily with here. Tell us about the journey here, your championships. You're known as a 2-year-old daddy, big race daddy. You have won 7 Jamaica derbies. Most jockeys would like to win 1.
Yes.
You have gone 7, 20 at classics. Tell me about the journey.
The journey was, honestly, the journey was hard. It was a lot of dedication. Mark it. I'm not a slim person. I'm not a short person. You understand? I'm like average guy, but I have to
Work hard.
work at it and work hard. I lose a lot of sleepover. A lot of I have to balance my weight, diet, and all them things there. So I've been through a lot.
And that's a lifelong.
And that's a lifelong. I've been riding from 1996. So it's almost 30 years. Almost 30 years worth of suffering like this. You understand? Not physical wise, but physical wise, but not like suffering as in suffering, but
Right.
physical wise.
The sacrifice.
The sacrifice that I have to make. You understand? So it's hard. A lot of young guys want to come in it, but if you can bear the sacrifice, it's no problem. If you just work at it, you just tell your mind, say, well, this is what you want, this is what you're focusing on, this is what you're pushing towards. So that's what I did. It's hard, but I wanted to do it, and I did it.
But since you talk about the sacrifice that you have put in, tell us about the rewards, because clearly for your resume it's a reward.
Yeah, I can't complain about the rewards. You understand? I've done everything. The only thing is not on my list yet is the Diamond Mile, and I'm working towards it. The Mute Mile, I'm working towards it. But I've won everything. I've won the 7 Derby. I've won 20 at Classic. It is so good for me. The reward is good. I can't complain. Give God thanks and praise.
Speaking about the Mute Mile, tell us about the kind of race you had. You ride T-Stock.
Yes. Well, going into the Mute Mile, I never think I would lose, but things do happen, and this is what I always want, to get a good break, and I never get a good break. It's not because of the starter or anything. The horse just break flat, and these things do happen. You understand? It's always, you have to get normally. This is what one of my things in horse racing, get a good break. You understand? Because in races like these, you cannot. It's hard for you to give away anything from the starting gate. And horses, these top horses, you can't give them jump and beat them back so easy. You understand? So I never get a good break, but I get a good clean trip, But the break that I got, I like spot the field 2 lengths, and I was dead from there.
What was your first classic winner?
PW's Choice in 1997 as an apprentice.
So that's just a year after you started riding?
Just a year after I started riding, I won my first classes as an apprentice, and I was claiming 3 at that time. So it was a joyous moment for me.
PW's Choice, that's a filly.
Filly. I won the Oaks.
The Oaks.
Yeah.
Tell us about the feeling.
The greatest moment of my life, because as an apprentice, I wasn't allowed to claim in the race,
Right.
and carrying 126, a young kid with 110 pound, I was lead, so I have to balance it, and I won on PW's Choice, and it was a momentous moment for me at that time.
And your first derby?
My first derby was Awesome Power, and there it goes, another joyous moment for me. You understand? And that's where I know I said I'm never gonna stop. This is where I want. If I even don't, I always try to get a ride in one of the classic them. If even I run last, I just tell myself, so boy, anything can happen. If I run last, maybe the rest of the field can drop and me end up win. That's what I always want to try. Yeah, so I always want to try for riding at the race.
But what's the secret, Shane? Because a lot of people would tend to believe that people born with your kind of success. You must be born to do this.
Well,
The classics usually from a mile up. Yeah. So the longer it goes, clearly the better you do. 20-yard classics. That's no ordinary feat. We know Winston has 40-yard. You're the closest to him in terms of number of derbies.
Yes.
But what's the secret behind your success in these big events? Because the trainers and the owners trust you.
Yeah, it's no secret, It's just that it comes natural. Maybe I was bred to do win classic, you understand? But to me, it just comes natural. So if I was bred, to me, I said I was bred to win classic. But it's no secret. It just comes natural to me. It's just like another race to me. You understand? It's more expensive, but it's just another race to me.
You won a Triple Crown.
Yes.
Tell us about that one.
Well, I won a Triple Crown, but it wasn't no easy Triple Crown. It was hard for me because the horse that I rode, Supreme Soul, it wasn't no easy ride. It was one of the hardest horses to ride. And I said to the owner, Mr. Mirage, Shivan Mirage, and his father, his dad is Dio Mirage, but they were in Trinidad, so I was going to ride the first part of the classic, and it was the Guineas. And Mr. Nunes, Anthony Nunes, he has 3 or 4 horses in the race, and they were all prepping for that Guineas, and he was the one that was training the horse. Even me and you can run faster than him in the morning. You understand? But when he goes into the gate and the gate pop, he's a different horse. You understand? So I called the owner. The owner called me and he asked me about the Guineas or what I think, and I said, well, if we win this Guineas, well, we're going to win a Triple Crown because this is the hardest race, because he's not really a miler. He's more of a double turn horse.
12 Triple Crown winners now in Caymanas Park racing history, but what a fight it was for the odds-on favourite Supreme Soul in the series closing St. Leger.
The 9-horse field taking the track for the St. Leger. News swirling about of a serious hoof problem that threatened to scupper this number 9 horse's bid for the Triple Crown after big wins in the Guineas and the Derby. Supreme Soul poised to become the 12th Triple Crown winner in Caymanas Park history. And physically, he shows no signs of discomfort minutes before race time.
They're off for the St. Leger. A fair start. Supreme Soul breaks widest of them all. Earn Your Stripes is moving down toward the rail in the early exchanges, and it's Earn Your Stripes. Supreme Soul, trying to be restrained by Shane Ellis, is down in second. As they make their way to the clubhouse turn, Tuna Ciliata races up with Crimson. Cryptocurrency is out wide, Sentient, widest of them all. In behind them, Tricky One, and last of all, it's the filly Princess Annie, as Earn Your Stripes, the pacemaker, sets the fractions on the run toward the far side. Leading up by 2 lengths over stablemate Supreme Soul, proving a handful at the moment. Cryptocurrency is racing next. Tuna Ciliata on the rail. They're joined up by Crimson. Sentient now inching closer. Tricky One and Princess Ava toward the back. And a long way last, it's Princess Annie. She's not in it at all. They leave the 6 and make their way down the far side, and Earn Your Stripes continues to go on that lead, opening up some 5 lengths over Supreme Soul. Crimson in between runners. Tuna Ciliata is there toward the outside. Cryptocurrency. Sentient and Princess Ava track these. A break back to Tricky One. Forget Princess Annie. They're approaching the half mile in the Jamaica St. Leger. Earn Your Stripes out on that lead, but not so far. Supreme Soul now cutting into it. Crimson is racing on the rail with Cryptocurrency out wide. Sentient begins to make a run with Princess Ava. Tuna Ciliata has faded back. A gap opens up to Tricky One and Princess Annie as they leave the 3 and run toward the 5/16th. It is Earn Your Stripes. Shane Ellis asks Supreme Soul now to come with a run as they're about to come into the lane in the St. Leger. Earn Your Stripes. Supreme Soul now asked to quicken up on the outside. Toward the extreme outside, that's Sentient not laying out. Tuna Ciliata now begins to come with a surprising run. Supreme Soul, Tuna Ciliata worrying him as they arrive at the furlong pole. Tuna Ciliata points. Here is Princess Ava. Supreme Soul is rallying on the rail. What a St. Leger inside the final 16. Tuna Ciliata fighting. Supreme Soul coming once again. Supreme Soul and Tuna Ciliata have gone by.
Real drama here as Supreme Soul's unfancied stablemate Tuna Ciliata, with Linton Stedman riding, delivers a challenge on the outside and actually gains a narrow lead approaching the 8th pole. That shocked Supreme Soul's confident rider, Shane Ellis, who was in the middle.
When it come on my outside there, I was surprised, the horse was surprised, and basically Supreme Soul is a horse like this. He tends to watch the horse, and the horse passed him, and I have to get after him to pass back.
So here's Ellis on the inside aboard Supreme Soul, his Triple Crown bid being threatened by the same horse Tuna Ciliata he had ridden to a robust Prince Consort Stakes win in March. Urgent left-hand whipping though from the 45-year-old Ellis keeps Supreme Soul in front in a thrilling stride-for-stride battle, climaxing in a desperately close finish.
I've never won a Triple Crown, and I give God thanks. I'm so proud, I'm so happy with this Triple Crown win. I always wanted to win a Triple Crown, and I finally did it, and I'm so happy.
Tell us about the Derby now.
The Derby was, well, going into the Derby, I was more confident because it's going longer, and the only thing, I have to just keep fit and get fit because he's very hard to ride, and we're going 12 furlong. So going into the Derby, I was overconfident, but keeping fit. And in the Derby, he broke good. He wanted to go. I relaxed him, take him back, and he was good. They passed him, and I know him, and he passed back, and I won the Derby. With Calculus in the Derby, in all of my Derbies, Calculus was the only one that I thought I lost from the half mile, but I never gave up because Calculus, you can't give up on. You don't want to give up at the half mile, and then what? You're not gonna earn anything. He's gonna drop out. So I never gave up. The horse, they passed me, but with me, although you passed me, that doesn't mean I'm gonna give up.
The winning post is always.
We still have 4 more furlongs, so maybe I can get him to focus back or even get back some life in him. I'm gonna ask him. And here he goes. He just kicking again, and that's how it goes.
For the half mile, and it is a Calculus now moving up to test further and beyond. Big Jewel breathing down the necks as they run into that turn, and the tempo will now increase, and further and beyond tries to kick away, but Calculus hanging on to his coattails. Big Jewel is right there in third spot. Billy Wiz now wound up for a run in fourth. Behind them a gap opens to Santorini as they've left the three. The rest seem hopeless at this stage as they're about to flash past the 5/16th. It's further and beyond, and Magnificent Day Nelson, who turned for home in the 2021 Jamaica Derby. A quarter of a mile to go. Further and beyond continues to hold that lead. Calculus is over on the rail. Billy Wiz now set a light on the outside. Further and beyond getting the stick in the left hand as they arrive at the furlong pole quickly. Dane snatches it into the right. Here is a Billy Wiz kicking it on the outside. Further and beyond beginning to tie up Billy Wiz. Calculus coming once again. Calculus now points close home, and the Ledger winner takes the Derby over Billy Wiz. Then further and beyond, Big Jewel is next ahead of Santorini.
With Crown Chaser, it was not even like Calculus or Supreme Soul. Crown Chaser, when I came back for the St. Ledger, I know if I was here or if I get a good post position in it, because in the St. Ledger, when I rode him in the St. Ledger, I was post 11. I wanted to come in and I couldn't get to come in, so I know. And the horse, interesting times, I had beat me like maybe about 4 or 5 lengths, and he came running. It's just at a bad post position, but I know I couldn't lose the Derby. As I told the owner, this is what I knew I couldn't lose the Derby, and I get post position 2 or 3. I can just tuck in,
Right.
and everything will be good. I will be waiting. That's what I did. Even at the top of the lane when Captain Sparrow come on the outside and thing, I just wanted to get him focused because he's right there, but he's just watching the grey, Run Julie Run. He's watching, so I just get him focused and just point him in the right direction and ask him, give him a strong ride, and he just come through.
They're about to arrive at the half mile in the 104th running of the Jamaica Derby, and Run Julie Run, the filly, has made a big move. Interesting times ahead trying to get to her. Crown Chaser right with them. Maybe 3 lengths separates the first 3 as they drive toward the 3/8 pole. Back now to Provident, beginning to make some ground. Watched Captain Sparrow asked to sprout wings. California Crown has faded after the early run. Further back to Oil Machine racing ahead of King Pie, then Zulu Warrior and McEnrome as they're about about to come into the top of the stretch in the Derby. Run, Julie, run. She's the filly and she is brave and traveling well over on the rail. That is Crown Chaser, and Captain Sparrow now begins to fly on the outside. Captain Sparrow being fought by Run, Julie, run. Crown Chaser trying to battle on down against the rail, but Run, Julie, run is brave. That's the grey filly. They're inside the final 16th. Run, Julie, run, giving her all. Crown Chaser now gathering momentum on the rail. The bobbing noses toward the line. Crown Chaser wins the Derby over Run, Julie, run. Captain Sparrow, interesting times ahead, disappointing. Provident has finished back in fifth.
Shane, you're one of the jockeys down here that we have done a lot of interviews, and most jockeys on this ground mention your name about helping them.
Well, actually, yeah, you see, I was grown by my mother to, you're not better than nobody. You understand? This is how, no matter who you are, always try to help if you can help. You understand? You can, if you can help, you help. If you can't, you just can't. And although in the jock show, I'm Shane Ellis and I won that race and that race, it doesn't matter. You understand? I always talk to the jockeys and say, well, if you can do this or do that, look out for each other. You understand? We're going out there. It's a life. This game, life and death game. You understand? We can just go out there and we drop and anything happen. You understand? So I always talk to them. You understand? Tell them, they always come and they ask me, and I'll talk to them. So because I'm Shane Ellis, I'm gonna be stuck up or anything. No, I don't look at it like that. You understand? I wasn't brought up that way. You understand?
Looking at it from that perspective, as a young rider coming up, who would have been some of the elders who would have pointed you in the right direction and given you good pointers?
Basically it was Andrew Ramjeet and Emilio Rodriguez. You understand? He was definitely, it was more like Emilio Rodriguez. Andrew Ramjeet, yes, he talked to me and he will tell me a few pointers, but it was more like Emilio Rodriguez. He was the one who pushed me. He was the one who talked to, because back then he used to ride mainly for Jose Pinchin. So he was the one who went to Jose Pinchin and he said to him, he told him that, take care of this little boy. He's going to be one of the top jockeys. And from there. And Jose Pinchin take me under his wing and think I was with Mr. Mattis, but Jose Pinchin used to give me the big rides and thing, but it was mainly Emilio Rodriguez. And I thank him for that. Emilio Rodriguez and the next, and Neville Anderson, not to mention Neville Anderson, he was next part of the one who inspired me he will tell me certain things and he will talk to me a lot. I always said I want to be, the top rider like Andrew Ramjeet. I want to have skills like Andrew Ramjeet, and you understand. And I want to ride hard like Emilio Rodriguez and thing. And he'll tell me, say, well, Emilio Rodriguez tell me, say, it's not about hard riding, It's about thinking, as well as Andrew Ramjeet. Andrew Ramjeet say, this is what he told me. Emilio Rodriguez can stronger than him, but you have to be smarter. You understand? You have to be smart in races, and that's one of my key things. I always tell the younger guys them, a man might ride stronger than you, but once you're smarter than him in a race, you'll beat him any day of the week. Basically, you have to use your head in race. You have to be smart. You have to think.
Whatever sport,
you have to, because in races there's like 100 ways to lose and one way to win. So you have to think. You have to be thinking.
How many winners you would have registered here in Jamaica?
Basically 1,300 and something, 1,300 and something.
1,300 and something.
100 and something 100 and maybe about 13 or 14 in Canada, including two stake race. And this year I posted basically the first black man in a long time to win a triple at Woodbine. 3 rides and 3 wins. Perfect triple.
I would take it, Shane, that you will be going back to Canada shortly, or keep riding there and here as well.
Yes, I'm gonna be keep riding here, winter here. What I'm gonna do next year, I'm gonna winter here. This year, I was in Florida, in Ocala, in Tampa. I rode in Tampa this year, but I don't really too like because it kind of I'm not getting the amount of rides that I'm expecting. So I'm gonna winter here in Jamaica here for like maybe 2.5 months until the ending of March, and then I go back to Canada and I'm riding.
All right, so tell us about, I know you ride at Woodbine. Where else you ride in Canada?
I ride at Woodbine. We have like racing from Thursday to Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday I'll go down to Fort Erie sometime on Mondays and Tuesdays.
What's the immediate future for Shane? I mean, you've been here for nearly 30 years now doing this thing. What's the immediate future? What's the plan?
Well, basically right now, I'm gonna give myself another maybe 2 years or so, maybe 2 years. Give myself 2 years, and then I think I'm thinking about training horses.
Okay, and you're thinking here or up there?
Basically, I don't think I'm gonna train here. I basically think I'm gonna train abroad. Understand? I'll come here like for the big races. Think about coming here for the big races, but I don't think I'm gonna train here.
Shane, your success would not have been possible without good agents. Tell me some of the good ones you have worked with.
Well, basically, I start out with Avalon brand known as Falcon. I start out with him at first, and we have our differences, and I've been through a couple of agents after, and then I went back to Avalon brand, and from there for the last about 4 or 5 years, I've been with him, and I'm gonna be with him until I retire. So it's just him, you understand? Basically, we're working together, and we're doing it good. We can talk. We have our differences sometimes, but not much. You understand? But we can discuss things together. We discuss things, and we're good together. So it's just Avalon Brian I'm working with, and I'm good with him.
Who are some of the best horses you have seen race at Caymanas Park?
Back in the days, I've seen like Eros. He was one of the best sprinter in Jamaica, and I've seen Eros do things. I've never seen a horse in Jamaica run 6.5 furlong in 1:15, and I've seen Eros, and that record hasn't broken yet. Only has that run 1:15, so I would give Eros the hedge. Abroad, I would say Zenyatta. And there's another good horses that I saw in Maximum Security. I love that horse, but Zenyatta was the standout. No, horses that I've ridden here. Horses that I've ridden here, I think it's Saint Cecilia. I think she's the best horse I've ever ridden here. Understand? Saint Cecilia.
And you sat on her when she ran up a streak.
She won 15 Grade 1 races with about 130 pounds or 133 pounds. So I've given, and she's not only a sprinter, but she could go a mile up to 10 furlong because I won the Oaks on her too. So I would give her the hedge.
And likewise, jockeys.
The best jockeys here, Georgia Song was cut above with Winston Griffiths, Emilio Rodriguez, and Andrew Ramjeet. After, you have me, you have Trevor Simpson, me, and now the upcoming youth them like Tevin Foster, Radish Roman and Tevin Foster. They're both two good young riders coming up.
Injuries inevitably is a major part of race riding.
I get my fair share of injuries. I've get injuries in Canada. I've get injuries here. I broke 3 ribs on this side in Canada and 3 ribs on this side. One spill, I broke 3 ribs, and another spill, I broke another 3 ribs on this side. And then here, early in the days, I broke one collarbone here, and then next time I break another collarbone. It was the left and right, so it kind of even right now.
So it's kind of a few bones here going to break.
Yeah, I tell you. And then the last spill I get, it was my wrist. I broke 3 3-parter in my wrist, the last one in 2023.
Yes, that was the most recent one.
That was the most recent one. It took me up to about 4 or 5 months. It was the ending of 2022, going into 2023. And it took me about 4 or 5 months. And that's when I went back to Canada.
How important is safety And do you preach that here in particular?
It's very important. It's one of the most important things. Safety is it's the most important thing than anything else. You understand? Because that's what I always tell the younger guys. You understand? You can't kill each other because you wanted to win. You understand? Right? Protect each other. Winning can come after. You understand? But you can't lose a life. That's what I always tell them. When we go out there, protect each other. That is the most important thing.
Shane, I've seen you on horses. When you win, you dance and things. You seem to be enjoying being a jockey right now.
Yes, I love being a jockey. And you know, the public, I love the public. I'm a public people,
And
you understand?
interaction
Because
with the public.
I love to talk to the people, I love to interact with them, because they're the ones. If we don't have the fans or the public, you know, there's no racing. We're not gonna run by ourselves. Racing is not for the owners, trainers, or our jockeys alone. We need the public. We need the fans. And so I have to entertain the fans. We are the entertainer. So I have to entertain the fans, and that's what they need. That's what they want. So I give it to them. I entertain them. My fans out there, I'm here. They play a big role in my future. Because from Purple Island, my friends and families from Purple Island behind me, my fans, they play a big role. I just want to give thanks to them. My utmost respect for them, and thank you all.
Anybody else, Shane, trainers, owners, grooms, you name it, who would have, you know, I mean, your mother's side, who played a huge role in the Shane Ellis we're seeing today?
Yeah, the trainers and grooms, most. You understand? Anthony Nunes, he played a big role in my future, other than Kenneth Mattis. But Anthony Nunes played a big role from back in the days up until now. Anthony Nunes is one of the trainer that is always behind me.
Shane, we would like to thank you very much for giving us the time to do this interview, and wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching another video produced by the team from QuickGallopJaya.com and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper. Please stay on the channel for other enlightening videos on those involved in local horse racing. Please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell.